Welcome to Worlds Beyond. I'm Jared Walters, and over the next coming weeks we have a good few interviews that have been filmed or recorded earlier on this year, which for whatever reason or another didn't get published. But today we're going to start the series off with a two-part interview. The first part to do with the paranormal. We have special guest Kevin Gilroy from Medium and Paranormal, who is a practicing medium and ordained minister with the Spiritualist Church, who will be touring Florida in this October. So I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Kevin to the show. Kevin will be here for this week talking more about the paranormal and his work as a medium, and next week we're going to be approaching the subject of UFOs. So very much looking forward to talking with Kevin. So he's joining me now. Kevin, how are you doing?
I've been kind of busy. I'm starting on, what is it today? Thursday. I've been accepted as a minister for Spiritualist at Morrison Hospital.
That's fantastic. That is. I've seen bits on Facebook about that. So, are you actually going to be a minister?
Yeah. Well, what I do is when people phone up and obviously your same beliefs, they'll go around and chat with them.
All right, excellent.
So it's the same sort of thing as they got the Christians up there, they got other people up there, but there's nobody to represent spiritualists, and they're all I can do that.
Oh, excellent. So who's that with?
That's with Morrison Hospital.
Oh, fantastic. Is it a minister or is it a reverend with the Spiritualist Church?
Well, ministers it is.
So is that like with like your local one, or what does that entail? Like, because
obviously we're going on the churches, but in order to work in America and to do the churches up there, you have to be ordained, by law.
So you're going to be going to America then and doing a tour around there?
Yeah, Florida, October 28th on.
Let me know what it is, and I'll put it in the description underneath the video.
It's the Metaphysical Chapel of South Florida.
So are you actually going to be touring around the whole of the state, or is it just certain areas?
It's a couple of churches we're going to do. We're out there.
How do you get into that then? How do you get into doing the tours and things?
My best friend Darren Hembrow, he's been out there a few times, and from a couple of his people out there have come over here to Swansea.
All right.
And I met them that way, and we became a guy called William Serra, who's a fab guy, and Bill and I kind of hit it off straight away.
How's things going with Medium and Paranormal then?
Oh man, we're busy. We're getting more with housework. That's always taking over. We're getting a lot of shops now for some reason.
A lot of shops. So what's happening to people with their shops, Matt?
I think the ones we've done, it's either the land they built on,
right?
The history, and some of the shops. So there's a lot of poltergeist activity. But we're obviously getting around that we do in shops as well. So they're obviously passing our info on, which we're very grateful for.
Yeah.
So we're doing something right.
What type of cases are you actually working on at the moment? Obviously, I know you can't give specific details, but what sort of activity are you...
There's one in particular in Neath at the moment. We're doing some search on that, and they're having people blowing on their neck and throwing things around the shop.
Oh.
So I've done some research on what the building was, but I think it's actually the same spirit haunting the entire... Because there's a shop about three or four places, streets, and it's... I think he's the same guy haunting it. He's on the same stretch of street, I should say.
What's your personal opinion then about people having relationships with loved ones in spirit then?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah? Do you personally have relationships with loved ones that have passed over, or?
Yeah, my brother's in spirit, my father's in spirit, obviously my grandparents.
And you talk to them quite regularly, or?
Oh no, actually no, not really. My brother's busy on the other side looking after children. So obviously there's no time over there,
Yeah.
I kind of have a rule that I always say, if I'm not doing anything spiritual work, leave me alone. I have to have my own life.
Yeah.
Because some people live and breathe spirit, and it's not healthy.
I find that sometimes you can get too involved in it, can't you?
Oh yeah, because there's no time over there. See, they just bother you. So I have some ground rules when I'm not working. Leave me alone. Unless you need some sort of help, and then we'll go from there.
The way they've explained it to me is they can see things in timelines, based on decisions that you make. So you're obviously it's probability. So when someone sees a path when they're given a reading or whatever, it's like a timeline, the more you go to that sort of one possibility out of all the ones you could choose, it becomes kind of more and more solid. That's the way they kind of explained it to me.
Well, the way I look at it, when I give people readings, if they're little, because some people, when they come to readings, they're either a little lost or they're having grief, and that's what most of them are.
Yeah.
That goes without saying, and I think sometimes I always look at it as, no matter if you've lost your path, you'll always come back to it.
Yes.
Things will be put in place. You'll always be alright.
The amount of planning that goes in place, though, astounds me. Just the amount, because all those like synchronicities and things that can lead you to different things.
Well, there's a train of thought that you've already agreed to all this when you've come down to the earth plane. That you need these experiences. It's like, because this is school. That's all this is. That's the way I look at it. And you've agreed to all these experiences before you go back to, to going further on in spirit with it.
What's your belief on why we keep coming back, like, to the earth, then?
To keep moving forward. It's like learning from your mistakes as well, isn't it? And I do believe everyone has a job here. I'm here as a dominion worker. I'm here to keep things in balance, with God's army, and that's what I'm here for.
Where do you feel that's going, then? I know our conversations take a different route.
Well, that's all right. We can talk for hours, dude.
Where do you think that's going, Matt? Is it to heal the earth, or?
A point was made to me a few months back. I put something on my Facebook about fraudulent mediums conning people and whatnot, and somebody said, I think it was Kevin Evans or Michelle Morgan, I can't remember who it was, but they said spirit now is moving people out, is getting the genuine ones away from the con artists. So things are beginning to move.
I've noticed as well, this is something I noticed, right, and I'm adding this myself, right, is people are being moved out of, like, because some mediums find it's their comfort zone, working just giving readings.
Yeah.
And I noticed, and this is definitely happening to me, that the opportunity to sort of give readings the way I was doing like a year and a half ago, had just completely and utterly has collapsed in on itself. And I've got a lot of good genuine feedback, and I am really, really passionate about doing it, but I just feel as if that's why I've kind of been, for the last year and a half, I've been kind of in a sort of lost period, and or a more, I say a lost period, but I kind of finding myself period.
Well, it's not lost, it's just giving you a break, perhaps.
Mm.
You're on the wrong path of brain now, so let's bring him this way now.
I feel there's more of a push to actually get people to experience this for themselves, rather than just having just having the experience of a reading, but actually having the sort of more spiritual experience themselves then.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the direction I feel is going. The paranormal investigators and things I've talked to, obviously talking to people doing investigations myself, I found it's on the rise. Like, more and more people now are having these experiences. So is it a case of more and more people are having these experiences, or more and more people are feeling that they can talk about it?
There's two ways to look at it. Everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In your case, there's a bigger picture, obviously, but the flip side of the coin is, I think a lot of it is then these paranormal films are coming out now, and people are getting more interested.
Mm-hmm.
And it's silly people are doing Ouija boards and all that sort of nonsense, and that's keeping us busy.
What's your opinion on Ouija boards then?
Oh, I don't like them. Don't like them. If you use them, you should be shot. I think that's all it should be.
Have you ever tried one yourself?
I got one. But I can do it under controlled circumstances. To
the wrong person, it can wreck your life.
A demon will tell you 1 million lies to get you to believe one.
So what's your opinion on demons then?
These things have been around for thousands and thousands of years. They're very, very clever. And they sit and watch and they learn. So that's why when me and Michelle go out, or Michelle and I should say, I never work the same way twice.
Yeah.
So they're very, very manipulative and clever, and they'll play you off. And most of the time they just try to break families up. It's called divide and conquer.
Why do they do it then? What's their motivation, would you say?
To kill you.
To kill you?
Yeah, to possess you, kill you. There's 5 stages, see? There's reconnaissance.
Right.
Which obviously come in, they suss out who the weaker ones are. There's oppression, off the top of my head, oppression, possession, which is ultimately what they're after.
Mm-hmm.
To get rid of you, and death, isn't it? Just move on to the next one.
So just moving on to the subject of the podcast, because we've kind of danced around a little bit. What would you? Because there's quite a lot of interest. I've seen this obviously in social networking groups myself, and I think the questions I want to ask you, because we did a little bit of filming of you and Michelle actually doing a clearance in our house. If people are having an experience in their house, or if they're having things moving, or they're hearing sort of different voices or whatnot, what sort of advice would you give to them?
Seek medical help first.
Yeah.
Mental health issues it could be.
Right.
It's not always ghosts and spooks, and you've got to use common sense. The first rule of paranormal, discount the normal.
Yeah.
Right? Because it might be mental health, things like schizophrenia this day and age and things of that nature, you know?
Yeah.
So you use common sense, get medical advice first.
Right.
And then if you don't, then we'll go that avenue, you know, go to your local church, Spiritualist Church or whatever, you know, your belief is. And they can advise you then.
What about obviously people documenting it themselves then?
There's nothing wrong with that. Keep a diary, it's sensible.
Yeah.
Because there might be a link. If it is mental health, it might be a link. You know, but if it's not, then it's paranormal. There might be a reason why it's acting at certain times or, you know, certain days. And there's a thing called stone tape theory.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously, for you, people who are going to listen to understand, it's the same thing gets replayed and replayed and replayed, like a DVD.
Yeah. Isn't it? That's due to the fact that there's the actual composition of the stone, isn't it? It's very similar to VHS, the tape used in VHS.
Oh, remember them? I'm showing your age, son.
VHS. Do you know what? I
don't remember them. Never you did.
There was nothing better than having shelves full of VHSs, because they were like books.
That's right, yeah.
They were style shelf like a DVD case now. You can fit like 1 million on a shelf. And
right. Writing on the tape, do not tape over.
Yeah. One of the difficult questions people might have, because obviously if they go to like a doctor and they're saying that these certain things are happening, would be the fact the medical profession obviously doesn't look favourably on these sorts of phenomena. So what sort of advice would you give to that?
Well, you've got to be you have to be, you know, a bit of responsibility, you know, what if the doctor's saying, but if, like I say, if you're sitting there and a chair goes flying across the room, or, you know, that's not schizophrenia, no. you know, let's be honest about it, like.
What's the difference between like a medical issue and just like signs that spirit and just letting you know they're around you?
No, if you're getting voices, you've got to be, you know, if it's clairaudient.
Yeah.
So, you know, especially if you don't know what's going on, you got to, you know, that's what spiritual churches are for as well, you know, and people like that can guide you and sit in circles and develop it.
Because people can kind of get drawn to it and they can attract it, can't they?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, especially if you live and breathe it too much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I liken it to having chewing gum on your shoe when you're walking around the street, you know, if you're a medium or something, you can pick it up and you'll take it home and...
It's learning to identify that then, isn't it?
Yeah. So that comes with experience and time, you know.
So how did you get into this then?
I started very, very young. I would dream stuff and it would happen.
That's how it happened with me.
And that's kind of how I started. And then I went to the Prataba Spiritualist Church. I went there. I've been wanting to go for a while, but things kept getting in the way. And obviously, when it was time to go, I went there. And there's a guy there called Adam Davis, who I'm very friendly with, and he happened to be sitting in a circle, and I was invited along, and I became friends. The guy who's running, called Darren Hembrow, we've since become best of friends. And I went from there.
Has Dominion been up and running?
Oh, we've been going about 2 years now. Must be about 2 years coming up. We're running about that mark.
It's around about 2000. But you've obviously done mediumship work and paranormal work before.
Oh yeah. I started out with a guy called Robert Amore and Steve Meisner, who kind of, like Robert Amore's been doing it for years, and he kind of took me under his wing. But there's only so much, you know, you can learn from people before you need to develop and do it yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
And, you know, Michelle and I, we're on the same page there, so, you know, especially when you're doing the ministerial work now, that's taken over, so I'm very much going that way at the moment.
So you, obviously you're looking forward to what I'm doing. What else lies ahead in 2015 for you?
Well, travel.
Yeah?
Travel a lot. I just haven't come back from Dublin. I've been over there. I came back here and get my ministerial stuff at the local hospital, which they seem to be working me doing that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately lost some friends this year through Spirit. So I seem to be definitely going that way. And then go off to America in October, do a Church Florida tour. and I'll be back in November. Then I think we're off and running somewhere else then.
That does tend to happen, doesn't it? You are very much guided into, you know, I feel I've been guided into a kind of arena now where I've had to sit down and just do a lot of research and just do a lot of self-thinking and see where I kind of fit into everything. And I feel, you know...
well, there's got to be a reason, like we're sitting here today, where we're talking.
Yeah.
You know, be a months down the line, it'll make, you know, a bit more sense. Perhaps somebody will see this and want our help or want your advice. And
you find this, that you come into people's awareness and you know, it all kind of fits together in the end. I think this is why I'm going back through all the information that I've done over the last few years and looking at writing about it, because I think there's so much interconnectedness with all the different experiences there that it's you know, it can be mind-boggling. And I think that this is something that Sam and I do, you know, probably almost now sort of full time. That it's our main sort of source of income and whatnot. And I'm looking into doing more development work now with people and showing them, obviously helping them develop, but showing them how to do it safely, their own way. Because I think you can't really develop this someone else's way. It's got to be.
it has to be your way, yeah.
It has to be your way.
You know, there's talking about ego with some mediums. But they say that you can't be a medium unless you develop from my class, which is a complete load of crap.
Yeah.
You know, you work how you work.
I think you just have to be grateful for every single experience, because every single experience is just amazing. I think the more that people sort of experience this themselves.
You've seen my Facebook, you know, you've seen it regular enough. My Facebook page, I'm all about keeping humble, keep yourself grounded.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Once, you know, what I find is the more gratitude you have, the more you attract that energy. Then
positivity, well, like attracts like, doesn't it?
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, it is. So you know, and
well, look, when we go with Dominion, it's not us doing the work; it's God's power working through us. So we're like a medium. You're just a tool. You're a vessel. So you are, you know. So keep your feet on the ground.
And thank you, Kevin, for joining us on Worlds Beyond. We look forward to talking with you next week, where Kevin will be joining us once again for another interview discussing UFOs and some of his experiences and some of his research that he's undertaken on the subject. So very much looking forward to that. If you want to catch that interview, please subscribe to the channel or follow us on Facebook. The URL's in the description below, and have a look at our website as well, which is www.spiritualworlds.co.uk. I've also put Kevin's details in the description below, so you can check out his Facebook page and all relevant details as well. So thank you very, very much for joining me. I'm Jared Walters, and I'll see you next week for more Worlds Beyond.